The 2026 Honda Ruckus 750R is not just a motorcycle, it's a statement. When Honda first launched the original Ruckus line years ago, the design was raw, rugged, and rebellious. It was a scooter that didn't care about elegance or polish, but instead leaned into a stripped-down, skeletal look that made it instantly iconic. Fast forward to 2026, and Honda has completely reimagined what the Ruckus can be. The Ruckus 750R is bigger, bolder, and far more performance-oriented than anything the nameplate has ever carried before. Today on Global Bike Buzz, we're diving into every detail of this machina: the exterior design from every angle, the engine at its core, its performance characteristics, what you can expect on the road, the pricing, and ultimately whether this bike lives up to the hype it's generating around the world. From the moment you lay eyes on the 2026 Honda Ruckus 750R, you know it's something different. Honda hasn't abandoned the skeletal, industrial DNA that made the original Ruckus instantly recognizable, but it's now taken that raw framework and layered it with futuristic, aggressive touches that transform it into a machine with genuine road presence. Up front, the first thing that hits you is the split LED headlight array. Instead of the cartoonish bug-eyed look of the classic models, you now get a sharp, dual-beam setup enclosed in minimal housing, flanked by angular DRLs that give the bike a menacing stare. Honda's engineers and designers clearly wanted the Ruckus to feel more like a performance streetfighter and less like a quirky city scooter, and that intent shines through immediately. The front fender has been tucked in tight, hugging the front tire with precision. The suspension forks are exposed and beefy, with anodized finishes that catch the light. The handlebars are wide and flat, a perfect blend of off-road ruggedness and street aggression, and you notice right away that the riding stance is forward-leaning without being uncomfortable. You'll also notice the wheels slide away and forged alloys wrapped in performance tires that look ready for both city streets and canyon carving. Honda has gone with a multi-spoke design that screams premium sports machine, further reinforcing that this is not just a bigger Ruckus, it's a whole new interpretation of what a Ruckus should be. At the rear, the bike continues to impress with design choices that blend utility and style. The tail is sharply cut, almost like a supersport bike, but the open frame motif continues, leaving enough negative space to maintain that Ruckus rawness. The tail light is a slim, horizontal LED bar that glows bright and clear, while the turn signals have been integrated seamlessly into the rear frame tubing. The rear tire is wide for a bike of this class, delivering a planted stance that makes the 750R look muscular and purposeful. Honda has even engineered a minimalist rear fender that doesn't take away from the aggressive cut of the tail. It's a rear view that makes you want to follow this bike just to keep staring at its industrial beauty in motion. Of course, the real heart of the 2026 Honda Ruckus 750R is its engine. This isn't your grandfather's 50cc commuter scooter anymore. Honda has slotted in a liquid-cooled, parallel twin 749cc engine that's tuned to strike a balance between everyday rideability and adrenaline-inducing performance. It puts out around 72 horsepower and 52 pounds-to-feet of torque, numbers that instantly elevate the Ruckus name into an entirely different league. Power delivery is smooth, linear, and Honda precise, but what surprises many riders is just how much mid-range punch this engine delivers. Roll on the throttle from 4,000 revolutions per minute and the Ruckus surges forward with urgency, yet it never feels out of control. The engine note is deeper than expected too, with a growl that rises into a raspy bark as you climb toward the red line. It's not obnoxious, but it carries authority and a kind of sound that turns heads at traffic lights and echoes down alleyways. The 6-speed gearbox is slick and well-spaced, with ratios that make city commuting effortless while still offering enough top-end legs for highway cruising. Honda's engineers have clearly paid attention to rider feedback, because the clutch action is light, the throttle response is finely tuned, and there's even a quick-shifter option available on higher trims for seamless upshifts. Combined with ride-by-wire electronics, you get multiple riding modes: standard, sport, and eco, allowing you to tailor the bike's personality to your needs. In sport mode, throttle response sharpens dramatically and the engine feels eager to attack corners. In eco, fuel efficiency takes the spotlight, with Honda claiming impressive mileage for a 750cc twin. On the road, the performance package of the Ruckus 750R truly comes together. The suspension is fully adjustable, with inverted front forks and a rear monoshock that soak up imperfections while still keeping the chassis composed during aggressive riding. The frame rigidity, the tire choice, and the suspension all combine to deliver a handling experience that feels both playful and confidence-inspiring. Throw it into a tight corner and the Ruckus 750R feels planted and agile, not heavy or cumbersome. The wide handlebars give you leverage, while the brake has a twin-disc setup up front and a single disc in the rear provide powerful stopping ability with ABS as standard. For a bike that wears the Ruckus name, this level of performance is almost shocking, but in the best possible way. Technology hasn't been ignored either. The digital TFT display is crisp and customizable, offering everything from speed and gear indicators to turn-by-turn navigation and smartphone connectivity. Honda has integrated Bluetooth capability, so you can pair your device, manage calls, and even access music controls without needing to take your hands off the bars. Rider aids like traction control, wheelie mitigation, and cornering ABS are standard across the board, ensuring that the Ruckus 750R remains approachable for newer riders while still satisfying veterans who want to push its limits. When it comes to pricing, Honda has positioned the Ruckus 750R in a very competitive space. In most markets, it's expected to launch starting around the mid-$10,000 range, depending on trim and optional packages. Considering the performance, technology, and unique design language, that price point makes it an attractive alternative to mid-sized naked bikes and even some entry-level sport bikes. Honda has also hinted at special edition colorways and accessory kits that allow owners to customize their Ruckus, keeping alive the spirit of personalization that has always been part of the Ruckus culture. So what's the final verdict on the 2026 Honda Ruckus 750R? It's a bold reinvention of a nameplate that many riders thought was destined to remain quirky and niche. Instead, Honda has turned it into a legitimate performance machine with real street presence, a capable engine, advanced technology, and enough style to stand out in any crowd. It may not be for every purists who loved the simplicity of the old Ruckus might feel it has strayed too far, but for those who want a motorcycle that merges the rebellious DNA of the original with modern performance and sophistication, the 750R is a home run. It's a bike that makes you want to ride, whether it's carving through traffic in the city, hitting the backroads on the weekend, or just parking it at a cafe copyright and watching people stare. And that wraps up our detailed look at the 2026 Honda Ruckus 750R. From its aggressive exterior to its powerful engine and impressive performance package, this bike proves that Honda isn't afraid to take risks and reimagine a classic. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you think the 750R is the right direction for the Ruckus name, or do you miss the stripped-down simplicity of the old